welcome to Sports on Tap. We are live at Z's Cream and Bean, 2706 Boston Road, right here in Hinckley, Ohio. It does border 4 cities. Sean, want to name one of them?
One of them is Brunswick.
Josh?
Strongsville.
Rob?
Hinckley.
And North Royalton.
Boom!
Look at that team effort there. Speaking of team effort, we have a heck of a team effort up here tonight. Joining us up here, Sports on Tap is part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network. You can catch this podcast on our on www.neosportsinsiders.com. You can also check us out on Facebook. We are also on the Twitters. I am not on the Twitters, but apparently these guys are.
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you on Twitter.
Yeah, we'll see
At
about
some
that.
point.
That's gonna happen, whether you want to be on it or not.
Well, we'll see. I don't want to get. We won't go too far into that. And then you can also catch us. Subscribe to us on iTunes. We are free on iTunes. But we have 6 very special guests here tonight. We do have. I think this is Coach Steve Bosko of the Berea-Midpark Titans Wrestling program. This is the second time on. I think it qualifies as friend of show status, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah, friend of show status.
How we doing, guys? Very nice.
Good.
Very nice. And joining him today, we have Pino Dipierro, Jack Chapman, Jason Gute, Ben Brunskole, and John Porch, all of the Berea-Midpark Wrestling team. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
We're good.
Remember, guys, it's radio, so a thumbs up doesn't help.
Yeah.
No, I mean I can do my best. I can do my best to describe it. We have the double point with looks like the double shooting guns, the Shooter McGavin, if you will.
I mean, it's cool. You just can't see it.
Right.
So
Exactly.
you know, it stinks, but
So we were talking a little bit before the before practice before the show, and so you guys have all decided you guys all had to lose a little bit of weight today. Is that accurate?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Definitely true.
Definitely true.
Can't you tell they're all like, God, I gotta lose
I know
weight again.
it looks like they're still hungover from Thanksgiving's turkey dinner.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Coach, you tell them to take it easy on Thanksgiving or what?
You know, we always talk about moderation, but that's one day you gotta let them let their hair down and get after it, and try to have them do an extra workout. You don't want them to starve themselves, so eat away, but you just got to train a little more. That's the only bad thing.
Did you guys actually go in to practice on Thanksgiving Day? No?
No practice.
There we go. But then you guys paid for it after that, I imagine, right?
We had a 5-team scrimmage at our place the next day, and
Wow.
so it was nice.
Very
Oh,
nice.
oof. So with Thanksgiving, you know, you guys said before that you didn't have to weigh the very next day, so you guys were able to eat. What do you guys have on Thanksgiving? Was there a particular food that you guys liked that, you know, you're like, you know what, I'm going to eat a little bit more today, you know, now that you can, because you guys can, during the season, you have to keep losing weight to stay at the same weight. I don't think people understand, you know, during the week, you know, you got to really watch what you eat, but on Thanksgiving, you're able to eat a little bit more. What did you guys eat a lot of on that day?
Mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's my man right there.
There it is.
More and more turkey.
Of course, you
Go ahead.
can't go wrong with turkey there.
I'm a fan of the cranberry sauce.
Cranberry
A
sauce.
little dessert there, sweet tooth.
We had steak and turkey, so.
Steak.
yeah.
Whoa.
Jesus.
I had some cheesy potatoes.
Oh, man, love cheesy potatoes,
Cheesy
too.
potatoes.
That's the best.
And
So
being
good.
the coach, I don't have to make weight, but having a different outlook on life, you know, I eat in moderation now, so try to help these guys out. Last year at this time I was like 315 pounds, so you know, I'm down to like 239, and
Wow.
you know, it's something, you know, a couple of the coaches, we work out a lot together, kind of serving as role models for these guys. We know it's a difficult time for them too.
Well, congratulations. That's huge. I mean,
Hey,
that's
I
awesome.
didn't notice it over the season. You look a lot more slim and trim there, Coach.
It's not always fun, but it's what's necessary. You want to stick around a long time on this earth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
fair
you
enough.
go.
Well, guys, you guys are you know, just about ready to kick off the regular season here, if I'm not mistaken. So why don't we, Coach, want to kind of go over what you guys did in the off season, and then we'll get into some specifics with your wrestlers here.
Sure. After the state tournament, we wait 30 days, and then we have a freestyle club that'll open up, and we'll do that one night a week where these guys can learn a different discipline of wrestling. We hold that in our practice facility. Then we do workouts 3 days a week, all the way till August, and we shut down August through Labor Day, and then we start back up for our preseason. We also work with a local karate school on every Saturday. The guys can go in for an hour and get some really kind of non-traditional training with Ray Terry at New World Karate in Berea. And it's just a great opportunity for these guys to, A, be coached by somebody else, be exposed to somebody else, and just try to glean some information and get better doing something that will help them also in wrestling. But we open up on Saturday at Milan Edison at the Edison tournament. There are 13 teams there. Last year we were third. I think we're going to be somewhere in that top 3 again this year. But I'm excited to see how some of these guys perform.
Coach, a lot of people who don't know the sport of wrestling kind of wonder how does a season kind of break down for you? Is it more of a tournament style in the beginning, and then you move into your league dual meets, and then you guys move into your conference tournament, or do you guys have tournaments throughout?
It's kind of the whole year. Our goal, obviously, we look at training to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You want to peak at the end of the year. So there are going to be some tournaments in the beginning of the year where we'll have guys maybe not at the right weight class. You're not 100% in shape.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. We're pretty close. We have pretty good depth at a couple of key weight classes, so we can get guys matches early in the year that maybe later when they get beat out in wrestle-offs they won't have that opportunity. But we have a couple of big tournaments coming up this weekend and then the next 2 weekends. We also, our conference, we have to duel or try everybody, so that's kind of interspersed right throughout the week. So on a Thursday we may have a double duel, and then Friday, Saturday we'll go right into a 2-day tournament.
Okay.
It's very challenging for these guys because, like you said, in the previous year we talked about it. They have to maintain weight the whole year. And, it makes it unique. It's different than any other sport. So now we're going to ask these guys on Thursday night to be on weight, eat hardly anything, get ready for a 2-day tournament, weigh in again Friday, weigh in again on Saturday. It's very challenging. They're the most disciplined kids in the high school.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you guys are all still growing. And how hard is it for you guys to have to, as your bodies are changing? How hard is it for you guys to kind of cut to cut weight and just kind of maintain where you're at instead of just letting your body grow? Any one of you guys can answer it. Wow.
Well, I also play football too, so I roll in a little bit later than most. Some of the guys here, they go to all the workouts and stuff, and I roll in probably about, I don't know, pretty late. Yeah, so I'm really late, and I'm up high too because I have a lot of weight on me. I mean, I come out of football season, I'm heavy. I got a lot of fat. That's what I was trying to do. I mean, I played right guard, so I get to wrestling season. I'm like, okay, so where am I going to go this year? I decided I was going 170. I was 180 pounds walking in, and before I knew it, it was hydration test, and I needed to be down. So it's kind of crazy just working it all off. But it's a lot of work, but it's doable. It's definitely
Absolutely.
doable.
How about you guys?
Well, my biggest goal was to gain weight, actually, instead of losing it. Because I was pretty skinny as a freshman, so my goal was always to gain and gain. And since last wrestling season, I've gained about 50 pounds.
50?
Yeah.
Holy hell.
5-0.
Jesus.
Nice.
I mean, I did that, but I did that in
Thin
college.
kid. I mean, he was our starting 145-pounder last year, and he's up over 190 pounds right now. So, his father's 4 inches taller than me. So hopefully by the time he's out of Berea-Midpark, he's our starting 220-pounder. That's where we'd like to have him eventually.
Yeah, that's impressive.
My God.
That's crazy, really.
And you're a sophomore, right?
Yeah.
Huh. All right. So both Jack and John, you guys both played for Coach Unick for the for the football team, and
Yes.
what kind of a transition was it for you guys to go from the football, complete team, I have one job, maybe a couple jobs to do as part of 11 to the individualized part of the sport with wrestling?
Well, a lot of it, we're already in shape since football season, so it wasn't that hard. But, football, you stand, there's breaks in between. You're taking reps out, you're going reps back in. But in wrestling, it's constant movement, and you're constantly sweating, you're constantly working out, so it's somewhat of a transition.
Do you guys, and it's a question I've always had, because when when in high school I played both sports. I played football and I played wrestling. I wrestled. And I found it hard because you're especially as a lineman, you want that leverage. You want to be able to use that. And I think that was as you mentioned, you use the freestyle, which is a lot of leverage type wrestling in that sense. Do you guys find it harder to keep up on like drilling your moves as much as possible, or kind of game planning out your matches when you're in the football season? Because you're trying, like I said, you're trying to learn plays and you're trying to learn everything else, but you also want to make sure you're keeping those skills as sharp as possible.
Well, over the summer, I know this summer at least, every single day I was at a workout, like Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday was football workouts. Wednesdays was wrestling workouts, and then Saturdays was wrestling workouts. So I would try and like balance the entire thing. I would get one of the days was a double workout, then the rest of them I would just get in there and I'd lift with the team. Like it's like 6 days a week I would just go, and then I'd work like in the afternoons after that too. So it was staying sharp in the summer was pretty easy. I mean, I was going to like practices and stuff, so I was constantly getting better. And then like once like football season rolls around, like there's not enough time.
Well, I guess my question is for you guys, when you come back to wrestling, is there that acclimation period to remembering the move? Like that was my biggest problem for me was, I knew how to do a double leg takedown, but it looked terrible when I got back from football, because if I did that in football, I'd 10 yards. So I had to make sure that I guess my question is it harder to kind of get back into the swing of things transitioning from football to wrestling?
Well, the one thing that our coaches did really well is that we constantly drill our stuff. Like it's basically second nature to us. So every single day we'll drill our stuff, the same stuff every single day, and it's for like 3-4 months in a row, because that's how long our season stretches for. So I come back into the room and they call out a move and I hit it and I don't even think about it, and I get up, I'm like, oh, I still remember how to do that. Cool.
Thank God.
Nice. Very good. Hey, Ben, you were a returning district qualifier. We'll talk a little about your tournament experience last year and then what you hope to accomplish this year as a senior.
Obviously, it was a big step for me and my wrestling career. I mean, my freshman year I didn't make it, and my sophomore year I was way too overweight to make it to the sectional tournament, so it was a little bit disappointing. But my district experience this year, I had really tough bracket. I wrestled some really tough kids, but it's a whole lot different than like wrestling in regular tournaments and stuff like that. You get a little bit more motivated, and I had a lot of nerves, so I went 0-2, but I think this year, if I make it, I've already been to the big stage, and I think I can just kind of
let loose, settle down a little bit.
Let loose, and I've already experienced it, so
you don't have to be as nervous, probably as
that's my thing. You just gotta have the mental mindset for it. So.
You mentioned the state tournament is like you say it's unlike any other tournament that you've wrestled in, and all of you guys have wrestled in tons of tournaments at this point.
Right.
Is it what exactly is it about the state or the district tournament that separates it from maybe like a club state tournament or a junior national or something to that effect?
Well, it's just not as serious. Like this is it's like go hard or go home kind of like. Once you get in the high school level, it's just everything is serious. Like you just gotta really hammer down and just practice hard, and it's a big deal. It's definitely something that colleges look at, and everything else. So
is that something you're looking to do in college as well?
Yeah, I'd like to. I've really been looking into it.
What class are you going to be wrestling at this coming season?
160 again.
160. Very good, very good.
And Coach, a question I have is, in the beginning of any season, you want to establish goals for not only the team, but especially in this particular sport, individually. Obviously, he went to district. The next logical thing was, hey, let's make state, or let's do better at districts, or however. Do you sit down individually with your guys and say, hey, here, what do you want to accomplish going into the season, or is it a constant thing for you?
I think what we do, the staff that I've been with has been together for a number of years. We as a staff will start talking about our goals. We'll talk about our goals for each guy, and then as the season progresses, it's something that you can build upon. I think it's kind of a fluid situation with a lot of them. Some kids will come into the season and maybe not have that commitment in the off season, and they'll flourish, have a great year, and then with some extra attention, some extra drilling, and all of a sudden they'll realize maybe I can make it, maybe I can do all these things, and that's part of our job is to try to plant that seed and let it grow and foster that kind of environment where kids can still be very successful no matter what their level was prior to the season.
So, as Ed mentioned, you guys start off this weekend at you said Milan? Is that Milan tournament? So, is that normally your guys' kickoff tournament for the year, or is this something you guys have just kind of started doing over the past couple of years?
Past 5 years, we've done it. 1 or 2 years prior to the merger in 2013, we started going out there. I started my coaching career in that area back in '93, so I know a couple of the coaches that are still down in that area. So we'd like to get back. I like to take the team to as many different corners of the state to be exposed to different wrestling. So we'll go all over. We'll travel anywhere. So
okay,
just good exposure.
And then when do you guys start up with, I guess, your league play, for lack of a better word?
Next Thursday.
Thursday. Okay,
we host
so
a double duel at our place, and then we go to the North Coast at Independence, like a 38-team tournament.
Oh, okay.
Now, we do have a freshman here, Pino. Let's talk a little bit about
our rookie.
The
Rook.
But in 8th grade, he was 50-3, and he was a junior high state qualifier at 113 pounds. And how do you go 50-3? I mean, that is impressive. Is there a difference from now you went from 8th grade, now you're at the high school level. Have you seen a big difference from 8th grade wrestling now into the high school level?
Yeah, there's everyone's a lot stronger and faster. They have a lot more knowledge and stuff, so it's definitely different.
So how do you change your attitude and kind of your moves, too? Because probably some of the moves that maybe you haven't seen in 8th grade now are at the high school level.
Well, the moves are basically the same. It's just you got to drill harder and make sure your technique's better. Also, you just got to make sure you push yourself and you'll do good.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And I'm sure these guys are bringing you along and teaching you some different things.
These guys right here are sitting there laughing at him the whole time because they can tell he's uncomfortable right now. So not only are they helping him, they're just going to constantly give him a hard time. You can see that, right? They're just looking at him, waiting for him to say something that they're going to keep giving it to him the whole year because he's going to say something on their show.
So he's being very careful.
Yeah.
Happy.
I think, the careful nature is Pino in a nutshell, too.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't 50-3 by accident.
Yeah.
And these guys will tell you, they can attest to it, his work ethic in the room, his off-season attention to detail, that's why he's here. We have a leadership committee on our team, and we've selected a guy from each class to represent us, and they're being trained. Our district has an initiative. He's one of those guys that are recognized as a leader. Now, he's not yell, scream, rah-rah, but you want to see it done correctly, as it should be done, as it is in a book. He's the guy you watch in the room as a freshman.
Yeah, but he's still a freshman.
He's still Coach up and knock you down, freshman.
Yep.
Yeah, you have our permission to take him down if you'd like.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just let me get the...
do it.
That'd be fantastic. And Jason, coming into your junior year, you're wrestling at 138 pounds. Is that a weight you've been at, or is this your first time at that weight?
Yeah, this is my first time at the weight. I wrestled 126 and 120 the past 2 years, so this is a pretty big bump up.
Yeah.
I'm excited to wrestle it, though. I wrestled 138 over the summer, a couple matches, and the kids are a lot stronger. I can tell they're more experienced. They got that wrestling look to them, so it's going to be an interesting season for me.
Well, you mentioned the wrestling look. I mean, is it something how long have you been wrestling? Has it been?
This is my third year.
This is
I
your
started
third
when
year
I was a
wrestling?
freshman. Yes.
Oh, okay. So I mean, you're picking some things up as you go. This is something that's relatively new to you, then, right?
Yes. The program is, I'd say maybe pretty decent right now. So the program's great. It's taught me so many things. So yeah.
What's been the biggest adjustment knowing that you're moving from 126 to 138? I mean, obviously you get to eat a little bit more than these guys do, so that's a good thing. But you have to gain. What's the biggest adjustment for you?
The biggest adjustment, it was actually I gained the weight by lifting over the summer with our weight training program, So I also grew a little bit height-wise. The biggest adjustment is definitely facing the stronger kids. So they're not as skinny as they were before, so I have to be more careful, watch out for their base on bottom, because they're going to be some sturdy guys when I'm on top.
I can go. This one is for Coach because, the football season's over, but we did a lot of football coverage. And the biggest thing with football now is head injuries and concussions and all that stuff. Obviously, in wrestling, there's a lot of contact in wrestling. How have you, over the years, noticed how treating head injuries, concussions, how has that dictated your training, practices, and all that stuff?
I think it's just something with awareness and education as a coaching staff, working with our medical staff. You're just kind of dialed into potential problems. I don't know that we've changed anything wholesale. Wrestling's never been a sport where there's been a ton of concussions, oddly enough, you would think. But that close contact typically is not.
There's no sudden impact. It's just kind
correct.
of. Yeah.
It's a constant jarring. It's a bludgeoning of one another, but it's never that crazy out of position, whiplash kind of thing. Typically, when you have two guys that are very strong and talented, it doesn't really happen. Mm-hmm. Some of the things we've done in this last year, we've bought some special headgear to try to help. Again, concussions happen; they're part of it. We are aware of it. Our medical staff is right on it. You have to go through the concussion protocol and all that baseline, as every sport.
So it really hasn't dictated how practices go or anything, because there's not as much of an impact from concussions in your sport than it is, let's say, football.
I think, oddly enough, girls soccer has the most concussions.
Yeah, right.
If you look factually. So, I coach football also, and things are part of the game. And when you have two people that run into each other full speed, I think it's inevitable. It happens. You can't prevent all injuries.
Right.
So, I'm not concerned about it or overly concerned about it.
Right.
It's part of the sport.
Hey guys, with this, this coming year, you guys, I wanted to go around for each one of you guys just to see, maybe name a team or a wrestler that you're maybe most looking forward to wrestling this year.
Like specific team, just like anybody.
Yeah, say you really want to beat the brakes off of North Olmsted, for example, but just throwing things out there, or if it's a wrestler like I really me and this kid we've wrestled multiple times, looking forward to getting at him this year. So
honestly,
or both.
Yeah, nobody really in particular. I go out and I treat every opponent as the same. Like, I want to beat them, and I give them the same intensity as I would any other opponent. But, if I had to pick, it'd be Midview because they're pretty on the map this year, so I would like to pin my Midview kids. So.
There we go.
Middies.
Jack?
Well, with me, it's just I just want to get better. I think that should be everyone's goal.
Yeah.
We have a lot of great wrestlers on this team. We have a lot of depth, a lot of talent. But I think getting better, it's just what all of us need to do.
So you don't have one team or one wrestler in particular that you kind of want to get after more than others?
For team-wise, I'd say Olmsted Falls.
There we go.
Because they're the best team in our conference at this. Well, last year they won conference.
Okay.
And they're our biggest rival. Even in football, they are. And I guess that transitions over into wrestling too.
Fair enough.
So we like to beat them.
Excellent.
Okay.
Gute?
I don't have necessarily a specific wrestler that I'd like to face, but I would definitely like to face Olmsted Falls or Westlake. Westlake, our duels are always the most interesting things to watch. We've had some people getting tossed into chairs. It's always been heated right down to the last moment. So Westlake would be a good duel to experience again, and Olmsted Falls just because they're right down the road from us, rivals for how many years, and they're one of the best teams in the state. So,
excellent, John.
Well, I kind of got two. There was a kid from Westlake that I faced, and when we had our duel, I lost to him. Like, he had pinned me the first time that we went around, and then we faced each other again in SWCs, and I beat him, and he got really, really angry about that. So I'd like to see him again. I'm not sure if he was a senior or not, but I would definitely like to see him again. And then the other kid, this also was at SWCs. Well, it was it was the third place placing match, so we were going for third and fourth, and I was wrestling the kid from Avon. I know he's younger than me. I'm not sure if he's in the same weight class, but I lost that match 1-0.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Man.
So I'd really like to wrestle that kid again, just to have another go.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I know, Pino, you're this is your first foray into the high school realm, but have these guys kind of giving you an idea of about who you should have more intensity for, if that's even a question?
Yeah, probably Olmsted Falls, because it seems like they're our rivals, and probably want to take that dude out.
Or who are the 3 losses in 8th grade that maybe they moved up to the high school level? Maybe those could be rivals now.
I don't even remember them.
They happened so long ago.
Irrelevant.
Right.
Coach, you got anybody in mind you guys are shooting for, or does it really matter to you?
You know, I want to see this team improve. I want to see every individual get better, and when that happens, we will be better. So I don't have a particular team. I'm excited to see these guys grow throughout the course of the year, and that's the beauty of coaching.
Fantastic. Well, guys, we can't thank you guys enough for coming up here and talking to us a little bit about your program and B, a little bit about yourselves. And we wish you guys the best of luck, and we will most certainly check in with you guys over the course of the season, and hopefully we'll get you guys back on afterwards.
Maybe even come out to a couple of duels or maybe a tournament.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We appreciate you guys coming on. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Very well. So we just had Berea-Midpark Wrestling Head Coach Steve Bosko, Pino Dipierro, Jack Chapman, Jason Gute, Ben Brunskole, and John Porch, all representing Berea-Midpark Wrestling. Oh man, Duff's being hard on him. Jesus. For Rob Troutman, Josh Jeffrey, and Sean Duffy, I am Ed Dick. This has been Sports on Tap, part of the NEO Sports Insiders Network, and we will see you on the other side.